while also addressing some things that needed to be fixed.
I mean, yeah, I think that was the biggest thing is, especially, if you really look at it, we've been going for like 8 weeks. So, I mean, it obviously just looks like, you think it's early, but, when you've been playing football for 8 weeks, it's good to get a week off to get your body back. And also it's like, it's a good time to get back to the basics and slow down. And, especially like I know you guys are aware too, but always in the back end of the year, a lot of young guys are going to have to start playing and also trying to get those guys ready. Because, something's going to happen. Guys get hurt, things of that nature. So I think it's just, trying to catch guys up back to speed, especially all those young guys that haven't been able to get as many reps the past few weeks.
Do fans and media realize that when you have an off week in week 4, it doesn't mean that it's just 3 weeks and then off. It's all of the fall camp build up plus 3 games.
Yeah, I don't think people really are complaining like, oh, it's an early bye week, but I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, it's I know we're about 2/5 or something like that through our season. We've been going for 2 months already, pretty much. So, um, yeah, I mean, with two, and then we'll be and we have till November. So, it's it's needed, and it's real beneficial having that extra one later on in the year. I think that's going to be huge for all of us.
Should every season have 2 off weeks?
I mean, I'll see how it is. I was real happy when I saw the extra bye week. So, it's just, and also like for me, also, I've been beat up the past few years, and I know that's great for my body also. So, being able to have an extra week in there for me to get some rest for, especially the back end of the season.
Quincy talked about being beat up in the past. I know your snaps have kind of jolted up the last couple of weeks. Are you finally feeling like you're back and ready to contribute a bit more?
I mean, yeah, I think that was kind of our plan. I wasn't able to get in spring ball, and you know, uh, even in the beginning of camp, I wasn't getting reps. As I was still coming back from an injury I had at the back end of last year. But I feel great, um, and I feel like I'm moving better. I mean, it's almost like when you get hurt, sometimes you start thinking you're not sure if things are going to be the same, but I feel confident enough now, like in my knees and all that, so to know I'm going to be good for the rest of the year. Like I feel better than I did at any point last year, 2 years ago. So I feel more confident too.
Yeah. So I know it's one thing when, the offense makes play and in the deep end, there was a one-handed catch Ole Miss had a couple weeks ago, but it's another thing when you guys are having, communication breakdowns or just coverage busts. What are the steps, being taken, especially from the older guys in the room, whether it's linebacker, safety, and what have you, to, limit those?
I mean, it's just I think it's one of those things where, we have a lot of new guys, and I mean, just in general, um, and especially like older guys, especially early on in the season, which I've realized over my years here, it's like, older guys that have been here have to overcompensate and communicating early on because, some guys are just not used to communicating because I think our defense is a little bit more complicated than whether guys are coming from high school or some other schools, obviously, but um, it takes a smart guy to play at Wake Forest. So, it just takes some catching up to do, especially guys that got here in the summer or just in the spring. So, I mean, obviously, like guys like Nick and Evan and Dylan, guys that have played a lot and are able to help communicate, that helps a lot. But especially the mics and the helmet are a benefit too. But it also, in a weird way, can also be a detriment because we're so used to always, everyone going over getting a signal, but now it's hey, someone's yelling it out, and you still have to have both, keep guys mutual so that they know you still deliver the signal every single time, small things like that. But um, I think we're getting better on it at it, and it's a lot of new things with some rule changes this year, but you know, that's the biggest thing is just guys making sure we're over communicating than anything.
Quincy, have you guys started digging in on what Louisiana has to offer and what will they do to challenge your defense this week?
Yeah, they're a good team. They're an old team. Um, and I mean, if you look up front, they have a lot of big guys on the line, and I mean, you can kind of tell what they want to do from the size of their line. They want to run the ball. So I mean, I think up front, on the linebackers there, and D line. I get excited for weeks like this because I know I'm gonna be able to run around and make a few tackles. Um, and I get to hit a guy in the A gap instead of running out. But uh, and I just know like guys like JD and KP are all excited too to beat some of those guys up front. So I mean we know they're going to run the ball, and I got an old experienced quarterback that makes good decisions. So, in the back end, we have to be smart too. But yeah, it's one of those weeks where, we're gonna have to bring it all, give it all.
I think we're good.
I was saying, you guys hear everything? I was
Yeah, I think we're
upstairs.
good. Yeah, yeah, I think we're good, Kim.
Thanks, Quincy.
All right, no problem. I hand this off to Damon. Damon, you good? No, you should not. What's up? What's up?
How you doing, Damon?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good. General vibe check after, I know the bye week is a dark place after a loss, but general kind of vibe check of how the guys are doing.
Yeah, I mean, we just, we had the bye week, so I mean, that whole week was just coming together, trying to, rebound, regroup, mentally just reset and just find out, what was our identity and, coming back to practice today, the energy was well, everybody's flying around making plays, and so, I mean, having that bye week after that tough loss against Ole Miss, just we kind of helped us regroup, and I mean, we're ready to play some ball. I know I am. Been sitting for too long.
I know you guys have started already the film watch for Louisiana. Is I'm assuming everyone saw Tulane put up almost 300 rushing yards against them last week. Is that sort of thing you're looking to exploit? Or you kind of licking your chops, seeing like, hey, we saw a team just do this against them.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this game, we know, I mean, that this is a good defense. Like, don't get it wrong, these guys is big up front, and their backers is big. These guys fly around and they go to the ball, and so coming in, you know, Coach Clausen and Coach R, Coach Hunter, they made a great point that we could be able to run the ball with these guys, and so really just me, like I'm laid back, I'm chill. So like, I mean, I'm just whatever the game plan is, I'm with it. You know what I mean? I'm going with it, and I'm just trusting in, like not trying to do too much out there, and never try to put too much pressure on myself. So when we get in the game, y'all want to give it to me, 60 times, I'll take it 60 times.
Just so we're clear, you got a 60 carry game in you.
I got to hydrate a little more if I want the 60 carries for sure.
On a semi-related note, I promise there's a direction with this. Damon, do you play poker at all?
No, I do not.
Okay. You have like the worst poker face ever when somebody goes down with an injury and you react.
Yeah, when playing Ole Miss, when those guys was doing that, like you could literally turn on the film, we would make a big play, and the guys would throw their hands up and then hit the ground. You know what I mean? And so, um, I don't really agree with that, just because as players, if somebody is seriously hurt and that's been going on the whole game, our minds is not, we don't look at that as somebody actually being hurt. And so the way we could react to that at times might be negative. You know what I mean? And so um, a lot of times I'm just like, when we're, driving and teams do that, I'm shocked, because I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean? But I mean, just for them to stop the momentum, but like, we know that's going to happen. And, this is not, coach's first rodeo with that going on. And he's said for a while, he's been trying to, find out a way to get that, fixed. But, when teams do that, it just shows everybody around how dominant and how explosive our offense can be, that a team has to go down on the field to regroup and reset and to reevaluate before the next play. And so with that, like, I don't know, man, like I just let it be and just play ball.
Damon, in addition to not being slowed down by fake injuries, what are some of the kind of keys to executing a little bit better in the red zone? It seems both against UVA and obviously against Ole Miss, there are several opportunities to put 7 on the board that you guys had to settle for 3. And
Yeah.
as you saw against UVA, that can make a big difference in the final result. What's some of the keys to kind of getting off the snide there?
Like, honestly, just being coachable and not beating ourselves. A lot of times we get down there and, like 10 guys doing right and one might not. You know what I mean? And so, like, getting in games that's, critical games. And this game that we're playing, this week is a critical game. Every game we play is critical for us. And
we have to learn how to eliminate the mistakes, the penalties, the false starts. You know what I mean? The turnovers, like, and once we do that collectively as a team in the red zone, I mean, we won't be stopped. You know what I mean? But it's just a trust thing and continuing to work on it. You know what I mean? With the coaches and with each other and just getting a feel for it. And like, we had a bye week off, but we got to work different scenarios and things. And so, yeah, just mostly just if we just stop beating ourselves and all 11 run the same play, we'll be just fine when we get in the red zone.
Davaughn, do you wish that every season had 2 off weeks?
What'd you say?
Do you wish that every season had 2 off weeks like this one?
Yes and no. I mean, I kind of like, the off week, but like I'm a baller, man. I want to play ball. I want to win. I want to get back out there. It's just getting in these games and like a lot of times people don't want to talk about, but Ole Miss was huge for me because when you look at that roster and those guys, like you got guys from Alabama on that team, Ole Miss itself, and big time transfers, and having the ability to go out there and you know play them and have a little success is something that allowed me to become more confident, and because other than Miami, that's going to be the most talent we've seen all year. You know what I mean? And so and Clemson's talented too, and I won't put them out that, and NC State's going to have some guys, but definitely all around Ole Miss was a very stout team, and getting out there and playing, and just also in the offseason I worked on catching the ball out the backfield. You know what I mean? And so I was able to have some opportunities out the backfield, and so being able to do that was exciting, and I'm ready to get back to work and go out here and beat these boys this weekend.
Damon, you mentioned how you were gaining, a little bit more confidence playing teams like that. Do you see that around, everyone else? Because I mean, while you guys didn't punch it in, it still felt like you guys moved the ball at least fairly well between 20s against Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like if you look at that game, this is a team that's putting up 60 points on teams in the first half, and they did not come here and do that against us. You know what I mean? And so we, as from a player looking at the schematically of the team and what we believe, like we all was looking at each other like, bro, we can actually you do this. And our coach even came in and was like, when I turned on the film, like a lot of things that we didn't execute was because we were beating ourselves, like we didn't do it the right way. And so when we get having those breakdowns and those meetings, and he's like, hey, if we would have executed this play here, we're back in the game, we're down by 6. You know what I mean? And so a lot of it really wasn't what Ole Miss was doing, it was what we was doing. And so when we took the off week, we regrouped, and we understood like we can't have these critical mistakes and these fallouts, and like we broke down the film and we got back to it. And I mean, Hank's been balling, love that. I love playing next to him. Like that's my guy. Like love Hank. Taylor Moran, I call him Mr. Consistent. He gonna get you a first down. You know what I mean? And so you got guys coming along. Great to see Donovan back out there, Ratio back out there, Tate Carney, Luke Pettibone, Matt Goldman. You know what I mean? Like, it's some dogs in the offense side of the ball, and I wouldn't sleep on us. I'm telling you, we're going to get rolling here soon.
I think we're good, Devon. Thanks.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks,
Yep.
Thanks, Damon.
Got Devon for you. We good. Appreciate you. So,
What's going on, Devon?
how you doing?
3 games in to being a starter in your second year, in college, how have you kind of handled that adjustment so far?
No, the adjustment wasn't nothing too crazy for me. Coming in, the older guys, Malik, Che, they would always tell me like, we need to get you ready. You're gonna have a big role. Like, and ever since I've been here, like I just been coached up from all of the older guys, all of the coaches to make sure that I'm doing what I'm doing to fill those roles. So stepping into this position, I feel like I've been prepared well for it, and I've been given the right tools, and the opportunity presented itself for me. So I feel like I'm just doing the best I can right now.
Davaughn, Coach Clausen talked to us a bit after the Ole Miss game. He talked to, I think it was mentioned after the UVA game too, talking about it on his radio show. Basically said some things on defense need to be simplified. with so many newcomers, so many guys that haven't played significant snaps in the past. What's that process been like both last week and then starting out this week?
The process, it's been I feel like it's been smooth. It's been all right. Like having to limit down the things that we usually should be able to do. I feel like it's kind of not really holding us back, but we just have to work harder to make sure that everybody is on the same level, as far as playing, as far as getting the calls, so that we can move forward and expand the playbook more. Simpling it down. I think it's we just have to step up to our level of play and make sure that everybody is doing what we have to do and getting reps in practice. That's where it starts. Everybody getting reps in practice so that we can build up everybody, and then by come game time, everybody's ready and everybody knows what to do.
I know that this is only your second season, obviously. Do you wish that every college season had two off weeks like this one?
Me, I love the game, so I take care of my body. I love the game, so I'm not really fond of off weeks. I like to keep going. I don't like the off weeks, but I mean it's more time to catch up on film, study for the next opponent, look back at the game, see what we did wrong, see what we could have done better, things like that. So you can definitely take advantage of an off week. It's a good way to prepare for the future. But me, I like to keep the train rolling.
Davaughn, has it
Did you find something to simulate a game on Saturday then?
Simulate a game.
Yeah, like you guys didn't obviously you didn't play on Saturday, but did you
Oh
find a way
yeah,
to
just going through that, like all the just because we don't play, it don't stop. Like I watched a couple college games, and you just put yourself in that situation. Pay attention to the down and distance. You just pay attention to everything going on in the game and put yourself in that position. So we call it flying the plane. Like you put yourself in that situation, but from the chair.
do you ever pop over to watch your brother at Bowling Green every now and again, or
Pop over. I mean, yeah, pop over. Like go to the games, or
no, it's like on the bottom like a bye week. I know they had like Texas A&M.
I mean, I watch his games every time. Anytime he on, I be watching the games. Just watching him do what he do. But I don't think our schedule's not like adding up. I don't think. Oh no, you were saying like go to his game or just watch?
Nah, not just especially if they have like a bye week or if you guys have an early game where they're playing on like a Thursday or Friday.
Yeah. Do I watch his games?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I watch every game. I watch every game wherever we at. I make sure I watch as much of it as I can just to see him go out there and do what he do. Just making everybody proud, because not everybody get this opportunity, and we just paving the way for our little brother Josh right now. But it's definitely fun watching him play, go out there, have fun. I can see the excitement on his face, the way he out there playing, jumping around and stuff, and that just make me want to play harder when it's time for me to go out there on Saturday.
I know it's your second year, and last year you guys didn't have, the helmet communication. This year you guys do. Does it feel kind of weird having to adjust to that throughout after last year, or is it just another thing you just gotta get used to?
I think it's just another thing that we have to get used to. We still focus mainly on like getting the signals, make sure that it's spread throughout the defense. But the headset is definitely a big advantage. It definitely helps out the team a lot. We get the calls in quicker, and we're able to see things. Where we're able to make adjustments to things that we may not be able to see as fast because we have the headset on. So it's definitely a bigger advantage this year.
I think we're good. Well,
All right, thank you.
I think we're
yeah,
good. Thanks, Devon.
All right.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you here in a little bit.